I'm Matt Schmitz. I'm 29. I've had diabetes for 10 years now as of this week, and I'm a skier from Illinois, Chicago. So I fell in love with skiing 5 years ago. I'd been out in the mountains before but had never skied them, and just got out on skis and just immediately fell in love with the atmosphere and the rush of just being out in nature and really connecting with the landscape and pushing yourself to the next level, just continually exploring. I think that's a big part of loving being up here. So I was kind of actually diagnosed with type 1 by chance. I came home from my freshman year of undergrad and applied for a summer job, which I had to take a drug test for. And during the drug test, the machine started going wild, and the guy who was administering it asked me if I was diabetic, and I said no. And he said, well, you better go see your physician immediately because there's a lot of sugar in your urine. So a couple days later, I went to my pediatrician, and he administered a casual blood glucose test, and I was in the 400s. So they had me do a fasting blood glucose test just to confirm the diagnosis, and then started me on insulin the next week. I initially found out about riding on insulin because of doing the JDRF Ride to Cure. I learned about Michelle Allswager and her son Jesse, and went home from the ride weekend and read up on their story and found out about Sean riding on insulin and the things that they were doing. And then I just met a couple of people in the local area who had been to a camp, and they pushed me to go the extra step and actually go onto the website and apply to volunteer and coach at my first camp this past December. As long as you have a positive, take charge attitude about it, it really doesn't have to limit you. You know, the sky's the limit as long as you're doing your best and taking charge. You know, that's what really matters. And it's really, if you keep track of your numbers, even if they're not exactly where you want to be, as long as you've got the attitude to try and learn from everything that you're doing, that's the key to living successfully with type 1.